Yo, what's up guys? Today we're gonna be doing a video on a 7-star tier list on what unit you should be getting. So this is different from how strong I think the unit is. I think it's more of if you want to get the unit or not. So the first unit we're looking at right now is Brawly. So by the way, our categories is must have, should have, can have, don't have, and skip. So it might be different each time I do a video, but it's generally the same idea. I think you really don't need, this is a can have at this point. You really don't need Brawly anymore. Brawly hasn't gotten buffed in a while. His damage is kind of lacking at this point. It's falling behind basically. Boo is a should have. I really think you really want this unit. It actually helps with your zone raids. It makes it much easier if you have Boo, because of his life bar steal, and you could just use it to just take life, just heal your base, and then you can straight up just beat the game, beat the map with that. Ultra Vegeta and Goku is a skip, easy skip. It's no longer looking like this, by the way. I think they changed the skin colors for all these units, by the way, guys. These are old pictures at this point. I just haven't updated it, or I won't update it because the new models are kind of fugly, fugly. Must have Gauntlet meta. Should have. It's still pretty good. I just don't think it's still really good for 19 wave rounds, but you could use Madara instead. Madara probably does the same thing, and you probably will do fine with it. As well, Madara is cheaper. You don't have to rush your farms to just try to get Aizen leveled. I always have a problem with that. I know a lot of people also have a lot of problems with that. But yeah, I still think it's a should have. It's still really useful to have around. Falcon's a shoot. I really think with Mochi being around, I think this is a can have now. I don't see any use for slows anymore, unless you're running solo, and they provide other utilities. But at this point, they really should buff Falcon or buff slow in general to make it seem like there's a reason to be using a slow instead. I know slow is more consistent, but the slow is just it's just not even a slow in some maps, man. Tanjiro is still a must-have, even though Evil Shade is now better. It's better. Evil Shade is in fact 100% better than Tanjiro, but Tanjiro is still a 20% leader skill, as well as he's still a relatively solid end game unit for raids. Ichigo is a can have. I really don't think you really want Ichigo at all. I think Ichigo is just a huge waste of time to get. He's only meta for one map, and is Air Infinite, and you rarely gonna be doing Air Infinite. Let's be real. Let's be real honest with ourselves. Gohan's falling behind. He needs a buff. Gohan's falling behind at this point. He's dated. He's falling behind. I really think there's better units now, honestly, as well as Metal Freezer. I think Metal Freezer is gonna drop down to can have now. I wouldn't recommend it for a beginner team anymore because of most raids are relatively easy to do now without cooler, and the raids that are really hard, you don't even use cooler at all. So yeah, I think cooler is now dropped down to a can have IMO. Mochi Awakening. Mochi Awakening is easily one of the best units you could get. He's the best for AoE, Mochi slow, wax slow, just super good. Guts, with the availability of Sukuna, I think Guts is dropping down to it's still a should have, but I think his stocks has definitely dropped. He's still a full AoE Rupture, which is also relatively easy to obtain as well. Ombre, I think Ombres that don't have at this point. I just don't think you should get this unit or waste your time trying to trade for this unit. Huge waste of time. He's not even good. I don't think you can use him in raids anymore. I tried to use him in raids recently, as it's really hard. You're probably just using him if you're just chilling and shit, because he is a on placement bleed and a 20% money leader skill. Perfect Cell. I know he got buffed recently. I don't think it just made him any much better. Princess Apelia or Apelupa. Yeah, Apelia. Yeah, it's Apelia. I think it should have. I think it's a should have. It's an easy it's a gauntlet meta. There is better options, but Princess Apelia is definitely easiest to use compared to other options available. Stampede needs a new buff. His nuke is just not good anymore. I mean, he's still relatively good for 19 a Team 19 wave round, but I don't think there's like a lot of raids right now that are currently super hard. So yeah, Vegeta Blue is just a piece for Vegeta Purple or Eagle Vegeta. Melodus is a should have. I think I tested him recently. His raid and story mode is just not good. He needs more damage for his raid and story mode upgrades. And I think he should be able to access his raid and story mode. His infinite mode upgrades. The infinite mode ability should be accessible in raid and story mode. So I saw the buff for Naruto. He does a lot of damage now. I don't know how good specifically he is, but I'm just gonna put him in should have. I've seen his damage, pretty solid, pretty good. Sasuke, I think is a can have. Sasuke is a can have. I've heard his Black Flame is one of the best in the game right now. But there is better options out there. So yeah. Skip, easy skip. No, these twos are just like they haven't gotten buff in a while, and they're never gonna probably get buffs. Who knows? The Des might give them buffs. Probably not, because My Hero Academia is just copyrighted. By the way, they don't look like these anymore, by the way, as well. Star King, can have. Needs a buff, outdated. Alien Boss needs a buff, outdated, with there's better units out there now. Lucy is really good. He's the only unit that could do an entire map rewind. As well as he has a dot amplifier, which is really good with Sukuna per se. Not amplifier, it's more of a consume and automatically in one hit basically. With Naruto and Sasuke buff, I think this should be in a can have. I think this should be can have now. Def is a skip, it's a trade unit. Mysterious X Final is a must have. He's a time stopper. There are some other options out there now, but I still think Mysterious X is still relatively super good. That you do still want to get him. Old Will is a don't have. I don't know, man. This unit is just Star Pass unit. It hasn't gotten buff in a while. It's pretty weak. He probably only does like what 20 mil max in an infinite mode, and that's actually kind of sad. Same problem with Umbra. Umbra is just has the same stat. Luffy is still must have. I think he's a low must have though. I don't really think you really need to rush him. He still has a health bar cut that stacks with other health bar cuts. So the Luffy and like Gilgamesh combo will be really good. As well as he does have a base saver as well. So yeah. Almighty is a should have now. I'm dropping this down because of Speedaholic. With Speedaholic existing, I really think this is a unit that's only used if you want to do something that easier. Like if you just want to click on a button, boom, there you go, worldwide buff. Path is a should have, must have. Honestly, it's really good. He's an elemental changer with he could do a lot of stuff. He doesn't work well with Mochi, so if someone brings Mochi, you do not bring Path. So he's also a low must have, but he's relatively good. Goku is a should have. I think he's a top in the should haves. You really don't need to rush him. He's a 4 AoE damage with a vulnerable. And as well as a nuke. His nuke is bad. Don't worry about his nuke though. His vulnerable is what you're looking for, because his vulnerable actually increases his damage. It gives him a crit. Jiren's a can have. I don't know. He hasn't gotten a buff recently. I think his damage is much lower than a lot of units now. Can have. I heard you could solo Gauntlet with this. AFK Gauntlet with this unit, but I still think is a can have. I think it was on can have already. Yeah, it was on can have. I'll probably put it like right between here, yeah. Eren is a should have. He is a 4 AoE, but I don't know. I haven't seen him used too much. He's just there really. People probably would just bring Tanjiro or like Evil Shade instead. So yeah, I think he's just there. He's still relatively good. I'll put him right here. Unhuman, Nullifier, really good. And this one is a can have because it does the same thing. It's just a skin change. Waste of time. Madara is a must have. I think he's one of the best units in the game right now. Must have. You should get him. If you see him in banner, get him automatically. He has a health bar cut, a ultimate time stop that stacks with other ultimate time stops. He has a black burn and a he does a lot of things basically. He's really good basically. Heavenly Duel is just a weaker It's basically a weaker. He's just basically a weaker Madara, but with a health bar cut. That's pretty much it. It's not too good. I think he's gonna drop down eventually to can have if he doesn't get a buff soon. Coral F is a don't have. Really, I haven't seen anyone use this unit like ever. He's just not good, man. He's just not good. He's like one of the weakest 7 stars in the game right now. Alright, Joe Kid, one of the newest 7 stars in the game. I think he's a must-have. I think he's relatively good. Enchant. He has a unique abilities, basically, which pretty much boosts him up to must-have. Unique abilities always is super good. Anakin's a should have. He eats your units, and if he eats your one placement units, you're pretty screwed. So yeah, I think he's pretty low in the should have. He probably just mess you up over, really. Vegeta, I think Vegeta's a must have. I think he's the best DPS IMO, and as well as he does other stuff. Yeah, he does other stuff with Rage. I really seriously think he's the best DPS. Sukuna is honestly, I'm not really high up on Sukuna. I think he should have. He is the best. I think he is the quote unquote the best DPS actually, but I really think Vegeta's just better in general. I don't see anyone using Sukuna too much because there's also a global placement, and yeah, I just don't see people using Sukuna too much. I'll see people more. I'll see more people like using Vegeta if anything. Evil Shade easily must have. I think he's one of the best units out there. Very strong leader skill, 20% leader skill. I think he's the better than Tanjiro. So right now, if you're looking for a leader skill for raids and story, it's Evil Shade and then Tanjiro. Black Flame, but he doesn't get his Black Flame until like later in the upgrade, and he activate his ability. You probably have to bring like a early game defender and mid game defender because Evil Shade is not a any of those really. Despite his very low start place command cost. So you guys, that is pretty much it. This is my tier list for which unit you should get. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll be back next time with another video in All-Star Tower Defense. In the meantime, have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.